Did you ever finally delegate something only to find it boomerangs right back to you? Approvals pile up, corrections stack up, and your team waits for your green light before they dare move forward. That's not freedom, that's just dependence in disguise. Today, we're talking about the invisible bottleneck in every growing business and how to escape it by building what I call the workflow freedom framework.
Welcome to the Budding Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm Randy Bridges, business advisor, consultant, coach, and trusted partner to service-based business owners who are serious about performance, profit, and progress. This podcast exists to do one thing: help you solve the real problems that stall your growth, kill momentum, and burn out the very people who built your business. So let's get started, shall we?
All right. We are on episode 217, and today is Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. This episode's for every business owner who thought delegation was their ticket to freedom, only to find themselves right back in the weeds. Here's what we're covering today: why delegation feels like freedom but often backfires, the invisible bottleneck that keeps you stuck in the middle, the workflow freedom framework, 4 steps to shift from delegation to true ownership, a quick case study from one of my clients who made this shift and cut their review time in half. And at the end, I'll give you a simple checklist you can use this week to see where you're still the bottleneck. So let's call it like it is. Delegation feels great at first. You're handing things off. You're not buried in the weeds anymore. But here's the trap. If you don't back up delegation with real structure, you're not offloading responsibility. You're just loaning it out temporarily. And when it boomerangs back, you're not free. Now you're stuck in a new cycle of approvals, corrections, and rework. Delegation without workflow, that's not freedom, that's dependence in disguise. Here's the kicker. You're not doing all the tasks anymore. You built a team and you've delegated. But nothing seems to move forward without you. Every decision, every correction, every approval runs straight through you. And you probably created that issue just so that you understand where the problem began. And see, that's the bottleneck. It's not your people, not their talent. It's the system. It's designed to route everything through you like you're still the air traffic controller of your own business. In the beginning, that might have been fine, but now that no longer works. And if we were to be honest, you didn't build your business just to sit in a tower waving planes in. That's the moment when delegation stops being enough and workflow becomes the answer. So how do you make the leap from delegation to freedom? Well, it comes in 4 steps, simple but strategic. Step 1, map the flow. Grab a big sheet of paper, a whole roll of never-ending paper, lay it all out. What happens from A to Z in a project? Who touches what? Where are the choke points? Step 2, set guardrails. Now, this is where you build decision rules. If this happens, do that. Because guardrails give your team confidence and they keep you out of the loop on the small stuff. For example, let's say you run a consulting firm. If a client requests a change that takes less than 2 hours, an account manager can approve it without question. If it's bigger, it goes up the chain. Now your team isn't emailing you for every little tweak. They know where the line is. Step 3, clarify outcomes. Now this is where most delegation fails. Don't just assign the task. Define what success looks like. Make done unmistakable. Great example. Instead of saying, put together the client report, you say, the report should include last month's performance, top 3 insights, and 1 recommendation for improvement. It needs to be client ready, meaning no grammar mistakes, formatted with our template, and delivered by Friday at 2 p.m. No guessing, no half-finished drafts, just clear, aligned delivery. And step 4, empower with ownership. Stop being the fallback. Tie outcomes to someone else. Let them own it and hold them accountable. Do this and you're not the system anymore. You're now the architect of the system. So let's look at a case study that I like to call bottleneck to clarity. Let me tell you about Brian. He's one of my clients. Brian had a great team, but every project still circled back to him for approvals. Now, he was rewriting, rechecking, and basically carrying the weight he thought he'd delegated. We sat down, did a quick workflow audit, using that never-ending roll of paper. We built guardrails for common decisions. We clarified what done meant for all the deliverables. And we reassigned approval authority to his team leads. Guess what happened? Review time dropped by 50%. Client delivery actually sped up, and his team reported more confidence, not less. See, the people didn't change, the system did. And that's often what you have to have when you want to rebuild the output of what you're doing. So let's do a quick check-in. Ask yourself, are your projects still waiting on your approval to move forward? Do your team members hesitate before making even small decisions? And do you feel more like an air traffic controller than the business owner? If the answer to these are yes, it's time to move past delegation and start building workflows. Here's your challenge for this week. Pick one workflow in your business, just one. Map it out. We've done this before, but now we're going to take a different view of that mapping. We want to look for places where things bounce back to you and run it through the 4 steps of the workflow freedom framework. I believe the insight you're going to gain from this is going to be tremendous. I know the first time I did this, I went through and I actually did it by accident. And I came away going, wow, I forgot all that complexity was in there. And I forgot that this complexity can create all kinds of problems. So let's do our closing reflection. Delegation isn't the destination. Your freedom is. And freedom happens when your workflows, not you, carry the weight. If today's episode hit home, I've got something new coming soon. It's a short mini book called Millionaires Mastering Chaos, your 3-step framework to scale without breaking. Inside, I'll walk you through the exact sequence I use with clients to stop adding complexity and start scaling with confidence. Every step we've talked about today is about moving you closer to freedom, the kind where your systems carry the weight, not you. And that's why I always like to say, build it smart, run it clean, stay aligned. And hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's the easiest way to tell me you want more of this. And yeah, it helps the algorithm god spread it to other business owners who need it too. That's it for this episode. I hope you picked up some valuable insights and maybe even sparked a few new ideas. If you want to keep the conversation going or maybe even explore partnerships, don't hesitate to reach out. And hey, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. The steps you take today could be the start of something big tomorrow. For the budding entrepreneur, I wish you the best in your health, your wealth, your business, your family, everything about you. Take care, and we'll see you back here next week.